Hello everyone and welcome to the Raymond School Fields, where we are set to bring you Brockton Blazers softball. Tonight's game is a South Shore Summer Softball League 12U White-1 division matchup between visiting Scituate and the hometown Brockton Blazers. We're ready to kick things off here as Anna's leading things off for Scituate, and she takes the ball down low. Tyshawn, the starting pitcher here for the Blazers. The 1-0 is right there for strike one. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes count here to Anna. Here comes the 1-2. Grounded over towards second base. It's fielded there. The throw to first is in time for the out. 1 away here in the top of the first now. Colby steps into the box next for Scituate. She swings and pops up the first pitch into shallow center field, and it drops down for a hit. Colby reaches with a 1-out single. 1 on and 1 out for Alex. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop-up, foul, and out of play. Everyone's set, and here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. It gets by the catcher to the backstop, and Colby will advance to second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a pop-up back towards the pitcher. Tyshawn makes the catch there for the second out of the inning. 2 down here with a runner in scoring position as the cleanup hitter Maggie will step in. Runner goes. First pitch is grounded to third. Cassie's throw to first is by the first baseman. Colby comes in to score. And Maggie ends up over at second. First run on the board here for Scituate. It's going to bring Zoe up next. Runner goes. Throws not quite in time. Pitch. In there for a called strike. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Here comes the 1-1. Over the outside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Zoe. 2 down in the top of the first. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball over to short. Fielded there. The throw to first is not in time. Maggie scores on the play as Zoe has an RBI infield single. Second run across so far for the inning for Scituate. Scotia the batter next here. She fouls off the first pitch. Here's the pitch. Over for a called strike. The runner goes. No throw. Here's the 0-2. Popped up back towards the pitcher over to short. It drops in. Go to first is on time. Runner's going to try and score. And she is safe at home. Elaine, the next batter up here for Scituate. She swings and misses at the first offering for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Popped up foul. No play for the catcher. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Grounded over towards third. Gets by to the shortstop. The throw to first. Gets by. Scotia's into third. And Elaine into second. Two in scoring position here now with 2 down as Taylor is the batter. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Sean is ready. And the 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Misses away. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Taylor. And the pitch. Down low, gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for the runner to try and score. Counts evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Called strike 3 over the outside corner, gets by the catcher. The throw to first is wide of the mark. But Soph was able to keep her foot on the bag. And that will bring the inning to a close. 3 runs in for Scituate, and as we go to the bottom half of the first inning, Scituate 3, Brockton coming up.
Hey, you guys are still ahead of the game, right? Go ahead, baby. No strikeout. All connect. No strikeout.
No pressure or anything on the end. Did you really? I played for I played like 13. How about I talk to you about that? Coach Jeff is Coach Jeff. Oh, hi Coach Jeff. Jeff or Coach Coach. Coach Shara. Caroline? Oh, Caroline Green? Yes, yes, I do. I do know Caroline. Well, I was just thinking come up here right now.
No strikeout. Nothing above the hand. Okay?
How many is that?
What are you at?
That's 3. Right.
Nothing above the hand, right?
Yeah, right. So on the 5th coming down. Okay.
This one right here.
Thank you.
All right, we're set here to start the home half of the first inning. Tyshauna leading things off for the Blazers. First pitch is in there for a strike. The 0-1. Pop back towards the pitcher, and she makes the catch for the out. I'll bring Zoe up next. She swings and fouls off the first pitch. Here comes the 0-1. Up and in. Ball and strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Zoe.
Take your time, take your time. Get out of her hand.
She's ready, and she delivers. High, ball 2. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 quick outs in the inning now here. As Leia will be the next hitter for the Blazers. Here's the pitch. Swung on the first pitch, grounded towards third. It squirts by there. The throw to first is overthrown, and the ball goes out of play. The Leia's over at third now with 2 outs as Ada's the hitter. Swung on and missed. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and 8 is quickly in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitcher's ready. Here comes the 0-2. Up high for a ball, gets by the catcher. Leia's going to try and score, and she gets in there before the tag. And just like that, the Blazers are on the board. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that will retire the side in the first. Brockton does pick up a run, and as we head to the second inning, Scituate 3, Brockton 1.
Camrys. Let's go, Brockton.
All right, we're back to start the second inning. Bernie leading things off here for Scituate. She lines the first pitch over to short, and it's caught there for the out. Nice stab over there by Avery. Shea, the next hitter here with one down for Scituate. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Play even with the bat. If she squares, run all the way in. Well, if she squares, she not gonna swing.
Up towards the pitcher. Towards the pitcher. Time. Just go closer towards the pitcher. Yes. Assuming the white line's right there? Yes. Is it not marked right? No, they do like a stepping on it. Right there. Right there. Forget about the plate.
All right, coaches position the batter in the box, and here comes the pitch. Fouled off. Tyshauna quickly ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count now on Shea. The pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. It gets by the catcher. The throw to first is there for the out. 2 quick outs here for the Blazers, as Jillian will be the next hitter. The pitch. Misses low. Inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Right down the middle for a called strike. 2 balls and a strike to count now here on Jillian. Down low, ball 3. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and missed, and the count's now full. Tyshawn is set. And here comes the payoff pitch. Popped up foul off the first base side and out of play. I'm sorry, this is not Jillian. This is Avon. And she looks at a called third strike. The catcher drops it. Flies the tag for the 3rd out of the inning. Three up and 3 down in the inning there for Scituate. And as we go to the bottom half of the 2nd inning, Scituate 3, Brockton 1. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the second inning. Kylie T leading things off as she takes the first pitch for a strike. Called strike two, and Kylie's quickly in the old 0-2. Here comes. Swung on and missed, strike three. One away here in the inning as Avery will be the next hitter. First pitch misses inside. Comes the 1-0. Up high, ball two. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike to count now here on Avery. Here's the 2-1. High ball 3. And the pitch. Fouled off and the count's full. Everyone's ready. And the payoff pitch. High ball 4. Avery draws a 1-out walk. And that's going to bring Cassie up. First pitch misses high. Runner goes. The throw down to second is not in time. Not the most graceful slide for Avery, but she got the job done. The pitch. Foul off. Fire's taking a couple of foul balls, but she seems to be all right. Here's the 1-1. Right there for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now here on Cassie. Here's the pitch. Popped up, and the pitcher comes off the mound to make the play. 2 outs now in the inning as Kaylee will be the hitter. Brockton trying to get this run across. First pitch is fouled off. Here comes the 0-1. High ball goes to the backstop, and Avery makes her way over to third. Here's the 1-1. Right there, 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count here on Kaylee. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. It gets by the catcher. She flips towards home, but there's nobody covering. And Kaylee makes it to first. Avery comes in to score. Sophia will be the next hitter here as Brockton has cut the lead to 1. First pitch to Soph misses down and away. High ball 2. And the throw to first, and they get the runner picked off at first. And that's going to bring the inning to a close, but not before the Blazers pick up a run. And after 2 full innings, Scituate 3, Brockton 2. All right, we're back here for the top of the second inning. Top of the third inning. Swinging a ground ball down the third base line, and it's foul. Lined over towards short, and it's caught there for the first out of the inning. Colby, the hitter here for Scituate, takes the first pitch up high for a ball. She singled and scored her first time up. Outside. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here on Colby. Swinging a pop, foul, out of play. Evens count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Foul back. Count remains 2-2. Deshawn is set. She winds and delivers. High, and the count's full. Here's the payoff pitch. Lined over towards short, and Avery tracks that one down as well. She is all over the place out there at shortstop. Two down. Here's Alex. Ground ball over towards third baseline and foul. The 0-1. Misses up high. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Alex. Down low. Counts even to 2 apiece. Here comes the 2-2. Lined over toward short, and Avery with the trifecta. 3 line drives to short. Avery takes care of the side by herself this inning, and as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, Scituate 3, Brockton 2. We're back now for the home half of the 3rd inning. Sophia leading things off for the Blazers as they trail by 1. She cuts at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Over the outside corner for a called strike 2. Pitcher set, and the 2-strike offering. Misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Sophia. Here's the 1-2. High, and that evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count's full. Pitcher set, and here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 1 away now here in the home half of the 3rd inning, as Maya will be the next hitter for Brockton. She swings at the first pitch and fouls it off the first base side. Here's the 0-1. Misses up and away. The 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Maya. Here it comes. Swinging a ground ball over towards first. Fielded by the first baseman. She flips to the second baseman covering for the out. 2 quick outs now in the inning here as Kayla will be the next hitter. First pitch is pop foul, out of play. Here's the 0-1. And it hits her. Kayla takes first on the hit by pitch. That'll put 1 on with 2 outs as Amelia will be the next hitter. She squares, pulls it back. Throw to first, and it goes into right field. Kayla heads to second. And she is going to be held up there. Runner in scoring position for Amelia here. She watches the pitch right down the middle for a called strike. Here's the 1-1. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. The count now on Amelia. The 2-1 pitch. Misses high. The pitch. Down low. Amelia draws another walk. That puts runners at first and second now with 2 outs as Kylie Pike steps in. First pitch misses up. Kayla's going to try for third. And she's out. That'll bring the inning to an end. No runs across for Brockton. And as we go to the 4th inning, Scituate 3, Brockton 2. All right, we're ready to start the 4th inning. Maggie will lead things off here for Scituate. She swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Maggie reached on an error and scored back in the 1st inning. Outside. Evens the count up at a ball and strike. The 1-1 pitch. Over the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Maggie. Here's the pitch. Fouled off the first base side. Count remains 1-2. Tyshawn is ready, and she delivers. Called strike 3. One out now in the inning as Zoe steps in. First pitch misses down and in for a ball. Zoe singled and scored her first time up. Swung on and missed. Ground ball down the third base line, but it's foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Zoe. Here's the pitch. Down low. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Popped up over towards the first base side, and Kylie Terry makes the catch there. 2 outs now in the inning. They'll bring Scotia up next. She singled her first time up. She swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Line towards second, and it gets over into the right field for a hit. And Scotia has a 2-out single, her second single of the game. That's going to bring Elaine up next. She reached on an error back in the first inning. Here's the pitch. The runner goes. Ball gets to the backstop, and Scotia is going to end up at second. Shauna gets set, and the 1-0 pitch. Grounded over to third. Fielded there. The throw to first. Not going to be in time. The throw down to third. And she's safe. That's going to put runners at the corners now here. Taylor, the batter, next for Scituate. Grounded over towards second. It's fielded there. The throw to first is in time for the out. That'll end the inning. No runs across for Scituate. And as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, it's still Scituate 3, Brockton 2.
You didn't know what the count. It always looked like 1 and 1. Both sides have problems. Yeah.
Hi, mommy's favorite child. That's why I said it, because she's right behind me.
All right, we're set here for the home half of the fourth inning. Kylie Pike takes a look at the first pitch for strike one. No, she's not. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Here's the 0-2. Over the inside corner for a called third strike. One out now here in the inning as Devine will be the hitter. First pitch is inside for a ball. Swinging a ground ball back to the pitcher. She fields it there and throws to first for the out. 2 quick outs in the inning, and that'll bring the top of the Brockton order up as Tyshauna will step in. Here's the pitch. Misses down and in. The 1-0. Grounded from the third base line. And foul. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count now on Tyshauna. Up high, and the count's even, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Down and in, and the count runs full. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a pop-up into left field. And it's caught. 3 up, 3 down for the Blazers. And as we head to the 5th inning, Scituate 3, Brockton 2. All right, we're back here to start the 5th inning. Bernie will lead things off here for Scituate. First pitch misses down low. 1-0. Called strike over the outside corner, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Bernie. There's the pitch. Swung on and missed. It's dropped by the catcher. The throw to first. Not handled cleanly, and the runner's going to make it to first. Throw down to second. Not in time. Shea in there for Scituate. Swing and a miss. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count here on Shea. The 1-2 pitch. Misses down low. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Down low, runner's going to go to third, and she will make it. Count now full on Shea. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. One out now in the inning. Avon steps in next. Ball gets by the catcher, and Bernie comes in to score. That increases the Scituate lead to 2. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Over the inside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count here on Avon. Grounded back to the pitcher, gets through over towards second base. It's fielded there, and the throw is not going to be in time. One on and 1 out now as Anna's up. The runner goes. The throw down to second is there. She originally made it to the bag, but came off the base while the tag was still applied. 2 outs now in the inning. Strike called on Anna. Here's the pitch. Lined out into center field, and it's down for a hit. Anna picks up a 2-out single. That'll bring Colby up. She singled and scored back in the first inning. Ground ball over to short. The throw to second is not going to be there. Throw now comes into third, and it gets by. Anna's going to come in and score. And Colby will end up at second. And another run across for Scituate, as that'll bring Alex up to bat next. First pitch misses up high. And Colby's now over at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up over towards the first base side. Oh, and it drops down. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to count here on Alex. Here's the pitch. Down low, it gets by away from the catcher, but no chance for the run to try and come on. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Over the inside corner, and the count's full. The payoff pitch. Grounded sharply into left field for a hit. Colby comes in to score. And Alex has an RBI double. Maggie steps into the box next for Scituate. She reached on an error and scored back in the first inning. Ball low. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Called strike, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. In there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Maggie. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That brings the inning to an end, but not before Scituate picks up 3 runs. And as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, Scituate 6, Brockton 2. All right, we're set for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Zoe leading things off for the Blazers. First pitch misses, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Down and in. Here's the 2-0. In there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. The count now on Zoe. Swung on and missed. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Up and away, and the count's full. Payoff pitch. High and outside, ball 4. Zoe draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 5th. Leia's the next hitter. She reached on an error and scored her first time up. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop-up over towards third, and it's caught there for the out. One on, one out here as Ada will be the hitter. She swings swings and misses at the first pitch for a strike, and Zoe steals second on the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Pitcher's ready, and the 0-2 pitch. Inside for a ball, catcher drops it, but the throw to third, and Zoe's under the tag for the 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count here on Ada. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Throw to third, and Zoe's going to try and score, and she does. Brockton cuts the lead to 3 now, but there are 2 outs in the inning. Kylie Terry, the hitter. She swings and misses the first pitch for a strike. The 0-1. Up and away. Evens count up at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and a strike here on Kylie. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Blazers trailing by 3. The pitcher winds and delivers. Swung on and missed for strike 3. That's going to bring the inning to a close. Brockton does pick up a run, so as we head to the 6th inning, it's Scituate 6, Brockton 3.
passes. Come on. We're focused. One more. Get focused, babe. You got this. Hey, let's get some good. I don't even know. See the girls ain't closing. One more and then. Let's go. Good throws at first. Hey, good throws to each other, all right? Let's make it count. There you go. Full body. Just like that.
All right, we're set here to kick off the 6th inning. Zoe leading things off for Scituate. She singled and scored back in the 1st inning. She pops the first pitch over towards second base, and Avery almost covered the ground to make the catch. She came a long way and almost came away with that one. Heck of a bid. So 1-out single here. Leadoff single. Scotia, the next hitter, she's singled twice. The runner goes. First pitch misses inside. The throw to second is not going to be in time. Here's the 1-0. Grounded in front of the plate. Zoe fields it. The throw to first is there for the out. Runner's going to try and score. And she's going to get there. One out in the inning. Lead goes back to 4. Elaine swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. She reached on an error back in the 1st and singled her last time up. Ground ball over to third. Cassie fields it there. The throw to first. There. No, it's not handled. And Elaine will end up at second. That brings Taylor up to bat next for Scituate. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. Fouled off. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down low. Runner bluffs that she's going. And she heads back over to second base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Misses away. 2 balls and a strike. The count now on Taylor. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a line drive into right center field for a hit. Elaine is being waved around, and she will score. Taylor ends up over at second. Bernie swings at the first pitch and grounds it over to second. Maya grabs it. The throw to first is wide of the mark. A run comes in to score. Shea will be the next hitter for Scituate, but we have a meeting at the pitcher's mound. We get the entire defense in the huddle. Committee meeting has come to an end, and Shea will now step into the box. Having an issue with the catcher's glove, I do believe. All right, we seem to have the issue alleviated. Runner on second, one out here in the top of the sixth. The pitch in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count here on Shea. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. The throw to third. She's safe, and she's going to come on in to score, and Shea is going to end up all the way over at second on the drop third strike. First pitch is popped up over towards first, and it falls down. And Avon ends up reaching on the single. Puts runners at the corners as Anna comes up to bat. She singled and scored her last time up. Swinging a ground ball back to the pitcher. Throw to first is there for an out, but the run comes in to score, and that will bring the inning to a close. There seems to be some confusion by the teams, but that there has already been 5 runs scored this inning. There's been the both teams are saying that there's only been 4 runs scored. Ground ball to first. It gets through for a hit. That's 5 then. So no matter how you slice it, 5 runs across for Scituate, and as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning, Scituate 11, Brockton 3. All right, we're back here to start the bottom half of the 6th inning. Avery pops the first pitch over to second and is caught there for the first out. We'll let the record show that I was correct last inning. We want that on the record. So Avery pops out to second to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Cassie, the batter here for the Blazers, as they're trying to make up some ground here. Pitch misses down in. Here's the pitch. Up high. Cassie's ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the 3-0. Swung on and missed. The 3-1. And that's ball 4. Cassie draws a 1-out walk. Kaylee will be the hitter next for the Blazers. She reached on a drop third strike her first time up. Swinging a ground ball, foul off the first base side. The 0-1. Down low. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in. 2 balls and a strike now. The count on Kaylee. Throw to first. Not in time. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Here comes the 2-2. And it hits her. Kaylee heads down to first on the hit by pitch. It'll put runners at first and second here with 1 away. And it'll bring Sophia up to bat. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball, goes to the backstop, and both runners will advance. Two in scoring position now for Brockton. Chance to try and chip into this lead. Over the outside corner, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and a strike here on Sophia. Here's the 2-1. Up and in, ball 3. Here's the 3-1. Up and outside, ball 4, and that's going to load the bases full of Blazers. Maya steps into the box next to Brockton. And we have time as the Scituate coach is going to have a chat with his pitcher. All right, here we go. Bases loaded here with Maya up. She takes the first pitch up high for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Inside, ball 2. Pitcher set, and she delivers. Right down Broadway for a called strike. 2 balls and a strike now the count here on Maya. Here's the 2-1. Inside, ball 3. Nowhere to put her here. The 3-1 pitch. Down low, ball 4. Maya takes a walk, and that will bring home a run for the Blazers. Kayla steps in next for the Blazers. She was hit by a pitch her first time up. She takes the first pitch high for a ball. Here's the 1-0. In there for a called strike. Evens the count up, 1-1. Pitcher's ready. Here comes the pitch. High, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike here on Kayla. Bases still loaded here for the Blazers with 1 out as they trail by 7. The 2-1 pitch. Right there for a called strike 2. The 2-2 pitch. Outside and the count's full. Payoff pitch. High, ball 4. That's going to bring home another run for Brockton. And Scituate is going to make a pitching change. Will step aside as the new pitcher takes her warm-up tosses. All right, here we go. Bases still loaded with 1 out as Amelia is up for Brockton. And she takes the first pitch for strike 1. Amelia walked her first time up. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Amelia. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging it popped into right field for a hit. Sophia comes in to score. Maya coming around, the throw to the plate is not in time. Amelia's going to head to second. She'll get there. And when the dust settles and the smoke clears after that, it's a 2-run single for Amelia. That cuts the lead to 4. First pitch to Kylie is in there for a strike. Still 2 in scoring position. Room for 1 more on the board for the Blazers. Over the inside corner, strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded over towards second base. The throw to first is there for the out. Kayla comes in to score with the 5th run of the inning for Brockton. And that is going to bring the inning to a close. So Brockton answers with a 5 spot of their own. And as we head to the final inning, Scituate 11, Brockton 8.
go, Bonek. No, I'm not trying to pass it. Right, all we gotta do is hold him and we win this.
We're off the my face mask, though. We'll take one back.
Play behind the play like the keep that throw up to first. Good throws, let's go. There you go.
On your toes, Lay, on your toes.
Good throws to first. Maya, lock in.
She gets two more.
Just watching. Stay engaged. Yeah. You actually just react like this, and I'm always telling you, just stay on your toes. Let's go, girls!
Coming down this way.
Oh, my goodness.
Guys, get the ball back there.
Get mad, mommy. And shoot. Girls, be on it. Get mad, mommy. Get mad. Come over here.
All right, we're ready to, well, almost ready to start the 7th inning. We've got an adjustment for the protective mask for our pitcher, Tyshana. And she gets ready to head out there. So Scituate leads by 3. Remember, in the last inning of the game, the 5-run limit is waived, so it's unlimited runs here in the final inning. Alex leading things off here for Scituate. First pitch misses outside. Alex doubled her last time up. Swinging a line drive back towards second base. It's fielded by Maya, and she's not going to have a play over at first. Alex has the leadoff single. Brings Maggie up to bat. She swings and misses the first pitch. Runner goes. The throw to second. Not in time. Maggie reached on an error and scored in her first plate appearance. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning. Zoe steps into the box next for Scituate. She's got a pair of singles and scored twice so far tonight. She swings and pops up the first pitch towards shortstop. It's dropped down there. Two on now with 1 out as Scotia steps up. She's got a pair of singles on the evening. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over towards third. It's fielded there. The throw to first is not in time. It gets by the first baseman into right field. A run will score. A second runner is going to, no, she thought much better of it. Two in scoring position now here with one away. First pitch to Elaine misses low for a ball. Elaine's reached on an error twice, singled once, and scored once so far. She swings and misses at the pitch for a strike. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now on Elaine. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Drop third strike. The throw to first is there for the out, but it's going to allow a run to come in to score. Two outs now in the inning, as the Scituate lead is now up to 5. First pitch to Taylor is fouled back for a strike. Taylor singled and scored her last time up. Here's the 0-1. Outside for a ball. The 1-1. Called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Taylor. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3, and that is going to bring the inning to a close. Scituate does score 2, and as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning, Scituate 13, Brockton 8.
You're here, buzzing.
Great.
Not a bad game.
All right, here we go. Last chance for the Blazers as they come up trailing by 5. Devine will lead things off. First pitch misses up and away for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded back towards the pitcher. It's fielded and throw to first. Is there for the out. 1 away. Tyshauna stands in next. Here's the pitch. Down and in, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. Here's the 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Tyshauna. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's dropped by the catcher. The throw to first is there for the second out of the inning, and the Blazers are down to their final out. Zoe steps in next. She walked and scored her last time up. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Inside for ball 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's called strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to count here on Zoe. High, ball 3. Here's the 3-1. Called strike 2, and the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The Blazers down to their final strike. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. And that is going to do it for this one. Both teams lining it up. Giving each other the good game. And a good game it was. Our final score, Scituate 13, Brockton 8. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you next time for more Brockton Blazers softball.